Good day, everyone. I will try to use this mic. I like to speak and project my voice without using a mic, but we'll go ahead and give it a shot today. So thank you to Jeremy and Justine and Zero Dot Club for inviting me here today. Justine just popped our booties, and I'm going to pop your mind with the topic of astrology today. It is Sunday. Typically, in a lot of ways, it's a day of worship. Regardless, it's the sun's day. And we are here to honor the light in each and every one of us. And I am an astrologer as of professionally in 2018. I started studying astrology during what is called a Saturn return, when Saturn comes back to the place it was when you were born. And that happened to all of us, or if you're not there yet, when you're age 28, 29, 30, and you go through a major life redirection sometimes, a stabilization, a clarification, and at that point, I needed to understand why we're here and why I'm here and what my purpose and our mission is. So today, we're going to go through all 12 signs of the Zodiac and discuss each one. But one thing that I want you to keep in mind is what Justine talked about, is how the Zodiac is within us. Aries rules the head all the way down to Pisces to the feet. So all of us here have head and feet. So we have the entire Zodiac within us. So just because your sun sign is Aries or Taurus or Gemini, that's where the sun is, and that's where you need to shine. But you have a placement where the moon was when you were born, where Mercury was, where Mars was, where Venus is. And that is like a big kaleidoscope, and you have your own individual thumbprint of how those signs come out. So I will be acknowledging all of our sun signs today, but all the messages that I give for each sun sign is for all of you. So just keep that in mind. The way I speak can be a bit choppy, but it is choppy and it is channeled. I have the placement of Mars today on my Mercury, and it's making a tense aspect in my chart, and I can be a bit radical with my speech. I can be a bit triggering, so just keep that in mind. But what I do channel does come from the purest place of my heart, because I just want to share what I love with all of you. So to keep that in mind. And this is astrology according to Angie. This is the way that I read it. Every astrologer has their own unique way of reading the stars and reading the sky. So this comes through my filter. Astrology is a science and it's an art. It's a science to watch the math work, and it's an art through the interpretation. And as women here, I feel probably all of us are going through our own spiritual awakenings. And you may have people on the outside of this circle. I'm not in the circle, I'm out of the circle, but I'm in the circle now. We might have people outside of this circle that you probably could not maybe mention that you've come to an astrology gathering today, because it would not be accepting. And I understand that. However, it's something that has been long hidden, and it's resurfacing, and I would like for you all to become a witness of astrology, so you have your own testimony where you can watch where the sky is and watch where the planets are, and then feel that, or watch it in events that happen on Earth. Astrology and astronomy were all one science at one point, and then they broke and they split. So astronomy is the observance of planetary bodies, but astrology is the observance of those planetary bodies and then being a witness to behaviors here on Earth and events here on Earth. So today, there are bombs dropping. Things are really happening in our world, but let's just focus on our inner world today, the inside this circle, and block out all that noise that's kind of happening in our outer world, because we can only control what we can control. And that's what I want to help you do today, is by self-understanding and understanding yourself and others around you. Does everybody know their sun sign? Everybody pretty much knows what their sun sign is? Okay. So I do tend to like to start off with the numbers. So with numerology, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. We're starting off 2026 in a 1 year. Numerology goes to 1 to 9. Last year, 2025, was a 9-year. That's a wrap-up of a cycle. We were leaving things in the past. Things are going to the wayside. This year, it's all new. And it's all new in many ways, not just because of the numerology. We left last year as a 9-year and being the year of the snake. And the snake needs to shed its skin. Last year in Zero Doubt Club, there was a snake in the basement of in the Independence. So that spirit totem showed up for Zero Doubt Club, because Zero Doubt Club was about to go through a big transformation. It was shedding its skin because it's about to be reborn in the year of the horse. So it's very powerful. Roughly 5.4 million people are bitten by snakes each year, resulting in 83 to 138,000 deaths. Now we're entering into the horse year, which is now, and horses have been injected with snake venom to produce powerful antibodies that can bind snake venom components, enabling our own immune defenses to eliminate those toxins. So basically what they're doing is they're taking the venom of the snake, injecting it into the horse to get the antibodies, so the poison of the snake can become the antidote to the horse. So through the snake year of the trauma and the healing that you had to do, allow that to become the medicine that is going to fuel you into the year of the fire horse, which we're in now. Allow it to be a miracle, and allow your traumas and what you're healing from to be your medicine. Allow your pain to be your fuel. And how can you make that happen, Jeremy? How can somebody's pain become their fuel? Put you on the spot.
I mean, if you made it through wherever your pain is, then what can't you make it?
Yeah, we're all here today, right? So you've probably gone through it. And now we're seeing, if you're in tune to nature and you're in tune to the energies, you can feel the shift in the energy. You can feel the newness that's coming in. It's strong. So as we're going through our own spiritual awakenings, there are symptoms to that. There's things and people and the situations that are going to be left behind. You're going to have physical symptoms. I can give you tips and tidbits as we go through the Zodiac of how to help yourself through that. But one is, I tend to get my strongest messages when I'm in the shower. You're cleansing off your day. You're cleansing your aura. And so pay attention to what you hear when you're in the shower, because don't disregard those insights and thoughts, because that might be how spirit somewhat comes and talks to you. If you have been, in terms of astrology and what it can do for you, if you are thrown into a wooded forest and God says, I'm either going to give you a map to go through this forest, or I'm not going to allow you to have a map to go through this forest. Are you going to take the map, or are you not going to take the map? I would say most people are going to take that map and say, yes, I would like to have the map of how to get out of this forest. Some people may just wing it. I'll just go by my gut and I'll just kind of feel my way through. But if that map gives you a crossroads and it says, at this crossroads, buried under that piece of granite stone, you're going to find maybe some nourishment or some food or something to help you along your way, that map's going to be very valuable. And that's what astrology is. It's a map to your life. It can tell you when life is going to become loud and when life is going to become heavy. It gives you an idea of what your lessons are about. And it gives you an idea of timing, what those lessons are about, how long it's going to last, and then when it's going to clear up. So has anybody ever had astrology reading? Justine? Yeah, so a couple people have had astrology readings. It's good to understand your birth chart, which is the time and day and location of when you were born. And you take a snapshot of the sky at that time, and then you can read where all the planets were and interpret it. So it is something that you can interpret and decipher. Does anybody have any questions about anything so far? Is it understandable? Our Native Americans, or natives in general, not just necessarily Americans, realize that we have 4 elements on this planet we need to survive: air, earth, fire, and water. The zodiac is broken up into signs that are air, earth, fire, and water, so we'll pay attention to those as we go along. And then there's also signs that are cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Your cardinal signs begin events. They start things. They start the season of spring with Aries, start the season of summer with Cancer, Libra with fall, and Capricorn with winter. Then you come in with your fixed signs. So last month when we had that tremendous snowstorm, we were in the fixed sign of Aquarius. We definitely know we're in wintertime. Now we're in Pisces season, which is mutable. It goes from season to season. So yesterday it's 50 degrees and sunny. Today it's 27 and a chance of snow. We're in mutable time period. We're going to flex and adapt and be versatile. So there's certain signs which are cardinal signs, certain signs which are fixed signs, and certain signs which are mutable. And what I give to you today, it's a lot of information. Just retain what you can. Just take it in. There's no pressure to remember everything. And you'll retain what you need to know. So going through the zodiac, we have Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's cardinal because it starts the spring and it's fire. Cardinal fire. So our male here in the group, Jeremy, is our leader, and he is in Aries. And so he carries that torch. His last name is Torchutsky, torch in sky. So he's here saying, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to get this started. Every sign of the zodiac has a motto, and Aries is I am. And there has been a big alignment of the planet Neptune and Saturn in the sign of Aries last month, February 20th. That has not happened for thousands of years. To have these 2 planets conjoin in this space in the sky, it's a brand new beginning. It's where that placement falls in your own birth chart can show you where your new beginning is started, but it's like striking a match somewhere in your life, and you might be able to feel it. Saturn is a planet that likes to build walls, and Neptune wants to dissolve them. It's in the sign of I am, so we're all getting a chance to redefine ourselves. Mars, at that time, the ruling planet of Aries, was in the sign of Aquarius, which is the humanitarian sign, and the sign that particularly goes with reading a code or reading astrology. So astrology is becoming more and more on the map, being able to read that map and see it in our everyday life. Mars, in the next 2 days, is going to move into the sign of Pisces. And that's where I come up with Jeremy being a spiritual gangster, because when that planet Mars, which rules over aggression and where you put your energy, is in a sign that deals with compassion and letting go and having no doubt but strong faith. This morning, my astrology teacher gave me a call, and I don't usually get a call from my astrology teacher on a Sunday morning. And he said, Angie, you just got to go up there and have no doubt. I said, that's where I'm going. I'm going to no doubt. And he's like, that's exactly what you need to do. So all of us need to, as Mars now is transiting through this sign of I believe for the next month or so, we all have to let go of that self-doubt and have blind just faith that you were in the right place at the right time. We're all here at this specific time in our world for a purpose. You're on mission. And so the more that you understand yourself and your own gifts, the more that you can contribute to your home, to your family, to society, to whatever it is that you need to contribute yourself to yourself. So we're all burning away our inauthenticity with this Mars, Saturn, Neptune conjunction at the very beginning of the zodiac. We're letting go. We are burning away what does not serve us anymore, so our true selves can shine through. For Aries, there's going to be a new moon on April 17th, is a date to keep in mind. It's going to sextile the eclipse, making a aspect that is harmonious to the eclipse that we had on February 17th in the sign of Aquarius. So that lends opportunity around that new time period of April 17th. So Aries, we're getting ready with this fire horse and all this newness coming in. And then, has anybody heard of Mercury retrograde? Yeah, so Mercury retrograde is when the planet Mercury, from our perspective on Earth, looks like it's moving backward through the sky, but it's actually not. And so it's like full steam ahead. Oh, wait, nope. You gotta hold tight. You gotta do a little bit more of your inner work. But once we get to the time season of Aries, at the end of March, into April, into the rest of spring, it's gonna be full steam ahead in a new direction. So right now, continue letting go because new things are on the horizon. That is for sure. The other thing for Aries is your ruling planet Mars is going to be moving retrograde. It's going to be retrograding at the beginning of next year in 2027. So when everybody is starting a new year in a new season, Aries energy is going to be like, wait a minute, we need to go back and we need to revise some things. So just pay attention to next year in 2027. It's going to be a new year, but at the same time, it's going to be a little bit of a hold up of where you put your energy in 2027. Okay, and talking about the zodiac and how our bodies have the entire zodiac within us. If you can see this, does anybody know who that is? Can you see my screen? Hollywood actress. It's Joan Crawford, Mommy Dearest. She was an Aries. She was known to have that bitter feud with Betty Davis, who is also an Aries. So if you think of those horns going at each other. But the reason why I want to show you this picture is because look at your sheet of paper in the sign or the symbol for Aries, the glyph. Do you see it? So the sign is in her forehead, where Aries rules the head. The sign of Aries is right there. So you can see it in her eyebrows and nose area. So Aries rules the head all the way down to Pisces to the feet. So Aries can tend to have headaches sometimes. They could be prone to headaches. They deal with the hot blood cells in the body, the red blood cells. Sometimes they tend to have a vein. If you look at Angelina Jolie, she has some Aries placement. She tends to have a kind of a vein going right through her head. Those are some that you can get really intricate with the way that the zodiac shows up in your bodily features. And so Aries is the head. And so it's also dealing with the iron in your body. So if you feel like you're tired all the time or you're weak, especially now we have a lot of energy in the Aries placements now. If you do feel weak, get your iron levels checked. Maybe you need to eat a little bit more carnivorous or something like that to get your iron up. I'm not a doctor, but I just read it how I read the zodiac. Any questions? Okay, let's move on to the second sign of the zodiac, which is Taurus. Taurus's motto is I have. So Aries, we step in and it says, I am here. Taurus is now, okay, now I need material security. I need some sort of sustenance of material, of value and things of worth, and it's the value of ourselves. So Taurus time period is from April 21st-ish to March 21st-ish. It's fixed earth energy, because we definitely know we're in the springtime, and it's earth, and that's like a boulder. So try moving a boulder. It's a sign of the bull. You might have a hard time getting Ferdinand to stop smelling the flowers and go in the rink, but once he has that drive and that determination, he stays the course. The planet Uranus is a planet that all the other planets spin on their axis like this. Uranus spins like this. It's the oddball. It's the Great Awakener, though, and it stays in a sign for about 7 years. And it's been in the sign of Taurus. I forget I don't know what year it went in there. I'm sorry, I apologize. I have a lot of numbers in my head. But for the last 7 years or so, it's been in the sign of Taurus, the sign that does not really like to have change. And Uranus has come through and it says, you got to wake up and you got to change. It's going to be leaving the sign of Taurus on April 29th. And it's going to go into the sign of Gemini. And through this time where Uranus has been in Taurus, I mean, how much have sound baths come up? And stones and crystals and things of the earth. And what's going, we've had some new discoveries about what has happened in the pyramids. That's all very Taurian. Taurus rules our throat, our neck, our thyroid, our voice. Audrey Hepburn and Katharine Hepburn were both Tauruses. They both were known for their voice. Audrey Hepburn had a very beautiful voice. Katharine Hepburn's was a little bit more scratchy, but interesting nonetheless. I feel like Taurus rules over sound as well. And when we have bombs happening in the world, we need to change our perspective and not go into that fear. Because we only see one side of a story. There's a lot happening behind the scenes that we don't see in the world. And you need to change it in your own mind's eye. So I channeled through today was that when we see or hear bombs are going off, redirect it that an angel is ringing a bell. Because there's a balance point. At one part of the world, there could be bombs going off, but at the other side of the point, there could be an angel ringing a bell. And bells are made from brass, and brass is a Taurus. It rules over Taurus. So think of that in your mind about bells ringing every time you hear that, because it's a change of your perspective. Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. Venus is going to go retrograde in her motion at the beginning of October for 40 days. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. It's the Venus is the Roman equivalent to the Greek Aphrodite. And when Venus goes retrograde, it's a time to go inward, not necessarily a time to do things of beautification in your own self. Like you just don't want to do anything drastic to your appearance when Venus is retrograde, okay? Because it might not turn out the way you want. You want the Venus energy to be moving with you, and Venus is saying, nope, stop, I gotta go back. And it's gonna go backward in the sign of Scorpio and into Libra. And so this is a really great time to do your own inner healing of the female part of yourself. It's a good time to do mirror work. There's a book by Louise Hay called Mirror Work. It's a 21-day practice that you can do. I highly recommend that when Venus is retrograde, beginning of October. This is a time to review your deep intimacy with yourself and your relationships in general, and working with your relationship with money. And your saying is, I am worthy. That's a Taurus saying, I am worthy. Okay, we have one Aries in the room. Were there other Aries? You're an Aries. I'm sorry, I didn't acknowledge you. You're an Aries too? Okay, thank you. And you're an Aries too? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge that. How about Tauruses? 2, 3 Tauruses. Okay, very good. Any questions on Taurus? Okay. So now we went from I am to I have to I think, the sign of Gemini. The sign of the twins. Gemini's in the room. We always have at least 2. We got 1? No other Geminis? That's very unusual. Usually I always have 2, because it is the sign of the twins. There's usually a dual. Geminis, I think. And now that planet Uranus, that is the Great Awakener, that spins like this, is going to be moving into the sign of Gemini. And Gemini rules over the nervous system. Gemini rules over the dualistic sides of your body. In the tarot, Gemini is the lover's card. And you don't really expect that with Gemini because it's an air energy, it's fast, it's quick-witted. What does it have to do with this love? But it deals with a choice. And in that choice, we have two lobes of our brain, right brain and left brain. Are you a bit ambidextrous? Yeah, the Geminis usually tend to be left and right. They can juggle, they can throw cards, they have fast hands. I could be sitting on this side of the room and know what's going on that side of the room because I'm fast in my way of thinking. If you need to balance that right and left brain hemisphere, how many left-handers do we have in the room? One? Just one left-hander. See how unusual that is to have a left-hander. That you're working your right side of your brain, which is your intuitive side. So if you want to strengthen your intuitive side of your body, start writing with your left hand, brush your teeth with your left hand, do things left-handed to open up that right brain. If you want to strengthen your inner eye, your third eye, sit in a dark room and look at a candle and stare at it for 5 minutes. A white candle, no draft, just stare at that flame. And then close your eyes for 5 minutes and stare at that flame with your inner eye. And that's going to help open up your intuition more in your third eye. It's that lover's card. There's in every moment we have a choice. It's the sign of the twins, and maybe the feeling that, I just need a friend. I need that other half of me. In some ways, a lot of people are looking for that nowadays. They're looking for that other person to complement them. With Uranus and Gemini, you can meet somebody very fast. It's a magnetic energy that's moving into a sign that deals with twins. It's a sign that deals with technology and the EMFs and the stuff that we're getting off all these, what are they called? Give me a word, I lost my train of thought. Antennas and all that. So you might need to get something for your phone or blockers or things to block off some of that EMF that's disrupting your auric field. Does anybody have any questions on Geminis? Everybody understand what I'm saying? You following? Okay. So we have our thinking mind in the sign of Gemini. And now we need our emotional bodies, and that happens in the sign of Cancer, I feel. Any Cancerians in the room? One Cancerian? Okay. Cancer is ruled by the moon, where Gemini was ruled by Mercury, Mercury being the winged messenger, and Mercury being retrograde now. So it's a time to redo, revise, revisit things, not to start off new things, but to go back and clear out and handle things and get some things settled that you've been working on. And now we are in an eclipse portal time. So what do I mean by eclipse portal? We're in between the energy of two eclipses. We had our first eclipse on January 17th, and our second eclipse is going to be on the 3rd. What day is the 3rd? Today's the 1st, 2nd, Tuesday? Tuesday morning? I think around 8 a.m. or so?
3:33.
3:33?
It's a 3 portal.
Oh, 3:33, okay, of the day, not 3:33 in the morning, okay. Yeah, so that's interesting. So you have your right hand, your left hand, and then you have your utensil, whatever your wand is, of your paintbrush, your pen, your spatula, your hammer. 3:33 is about creativity. So get your paintbrush ready for this upcoming time period of how you want to design your life under a 3:33. But an eclipse portal time is a time period of, there's an opening of a doorway that you can walk through. And so keep your vibration higher. You all came here today because you going through a workout, maybe needed some spiritual upliftment. You have some interest in astrology. You could be a master of astrology. We're all at different levels of our spiritual awakening. But you're here because it is a time period where you want to move forward. And this is a time period where that is able to happen. The the moon is so important to the female body. It's a 28-day cycle, and that's our cycle. So we are very tethered to the moon. So pay attention when it's a full moon, a new moon, a quarter moon. That's all important. I can recommend the Oracle card deck Moonology, and that's kind of like flashcards for knowing where the moon is. They say Cancers are a little bit moody because your ruling planet moves through a sign every 2.5 days. So today the moon is in Leo. By tomorrow-ish, it's going to move into the sign of Virgo. There's an energy shift there. And then a couple days later, it's going to move into the sign of Libra, an energy shift. So to be able to stay in flow and stay regulated is to understand where the moon is and get in line with it, and so you can ebb and flow. Now, Cancers are the sign of the Zodiac that are the natural healers, and they feel, and they're empathic, and they have a hard shell. And life is so chaotic out there that they may retract into that shell so much that they don't want to come out. You can hide there for a little bit, but you need to, we need you. We need all of us. And so we need that healing energy. So if you're in your shell, don't stay in there too long. Don't get too comfortable. You came out. You're here today. So that's good. At the end of June, Mercury is going to go retrograde in your sign. And when Mercury goes retrograde in your sign, the moon is reflective. It reflects the light of the sun. It doesn't hold its own sun. So Cancer energy likes to stay in the past. So we're going to have a chance to revisit the past all summer long because Mercury is going to be in the sign of Cancer from June 1st all the way to August 9th. And it's going to retrograde in there and give us a chance to go back. Cancer rules over family and our home. And the United States is a Cancerian country. Our birthday, we celebrate the birth of the United States on July 4th. And so it's that Cancerian energy. So if we could all think of each other as a family, we can be dysfunctional, but it's a family that we have here. And with that Uranus in the sign of Gemini, it's answering to Cancer. So the smartest people that I meet are the ones that are sometimes born in June. When you get that Gemini Cancerian energy, Nikola Tesla, Elon Musk, Tupac. He was a wordsmith. He was a brilliant wordsmith. So it has a wisdom there of drawing back from your past and drawing from your ancestral lineage that you can pull from and use the lessons and the blessings that are distilled in your DNA and bring those forth. Any questions on Cancer? Any Leos in the room? One Leo? Okay, so outside of that family unit of Cancer, we step out with our own will. And that's the motto for Leo is I will. Sorry, I didn't give you, Cancer rules over the mammary, it rules over the womb space, it rules over, sometimes, thinking about mermaid energy and what a mermaid would eat as far as like kelp and minerals and iodine, things like that are good for the Cancerian energy. Now, Leo rules the heart, as Justine said for us. It's a fixed fire sign, so it has to be in constant creativity. Leo is the sign of the lion. It's the sign that deals with children and what it is that we create. June 30th, the planet of luck and abundance, Jupiter, is going to move into the sign of Leo. It's going to leave Cancer where it is now, where it is doing that healing work. It's gathering us together as a family, and it's going to move into the sign of creativity. In August is a huge month. There's going to be a solar eclipse in Leo. The sun is going to be in Leo, and it's going to be hot. So think back of what you started around in 2017 and 2018. What did you have going on then? What were you starting? because the eclipses were in a Leo and Aquarius at that time, and they're coming back to Leo and Aquarius at this time. So it's time to do work on your inner child, and if you feel like you're stuck and you don't know what to do, what is it that you loved to do when you were a kid? And just bring that back. If you don't have anything that you love to do because that path was so painful, it's time to go in and do that inner work of healing the inner child. It's kind of funny because as we were doing our workout, I'm thinking how we always talk about the brain-heart connection and how there's electricity in our hearts and electricity in our brains. Today I feel like we're doing the mind-booty connection. But we do want to concentrate on feeling your own heartbeat. I got this from the Light Body Academy, and they said every morning before you wake up, before you hit that phone, put your hand on your heart and feel your own heartbeat. And make sure you're able to connect in there, because our world is manipulating us. And you have to be able to make good, sound decisions for yourself. And the way that you're going to be able to do that is to drop into your heart. But sometimes it's like, drop into my heart. What does that mean? But a way that you could do that is actually sit and feel and listen to your own heartbeat. And it's that drum beat of your own body. Now, think of all of us if we came back here in August and we all brought our own drum and we all are in rhythm with each other in a drum beat under this circle, what that would sound like. So pay attention at that time around August where you can be in line with other people and build that kind of heart-centeredness. There's going to be a big energy time around July 26th, 27th when the sun opposes Pluto. And on July 29th, they consider that the luckiest day of the year when the sun and Jupiter conjoin. That's going to happen around 8 a.m. It's a Wednesday. The moon at that time is going to be conjunct Pluto, and that's a full moon. So pay attention to what happens around the end of July, because that's a big, heavy time period. It's a time period for most certainly to stand in your own leadership and to stand in your heart center. Any questions about Leo? How about Virgos in the room? 2 Virgos? Okay, Virgo sign motto is I analyze, and as Justine said, it rules the gut. So your intestines are where your body says, I like this, I don't like that. So that I analyze in your body happens here. So if you want to become more intuitive, if you need to step into your emotional side and navigate from your gut center, you have to clear it out. You got to keep it clear. But Virgo, it's your show right now because we do have this eclipse on Tuesday in the sign of Virgo. It's a total eclipse. It may ask you, how do you serve? What's your routine? It is a time period to let go of your thoughts and patterns. The total eclipse is answering to a retrograde Mercury in Pisces, which is about dropping the illusions. It's about balancing out your practicality with your own spirituality. Let it go, detox, and clear out your habits. So looking right now, where's your focus? Around your birthday, Virgo, your ruling planet is going to go back in Virgo, so be very clear. So what's going on now may manifest around the birthday time of Virgo, which is end of August in through September. So pay attention at that time. And Libra, I balance. Any Libras in the room? 1, 2 Libras. Okay, balance of the scales. So out of all the signs of the zodiac, you're either a human or some sort of animal. Libra is it anatomical? Is that what it means when, like, anatomical? Because it's blind justice. There's a sense of fairness there and creating harmony. I did read that in the human body, Libra rules your kidneys, it rules your low back. And then I just happened to want to look, I have a book here. it's a dictionary of what rules what in astrology. And so I looked up glutes, and I didn't find anything, so I looked up buttocks, and it's Libra.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. So Libra is Saturn. So, yeah. So Libras, how do you feel like you have to be pleasing? In Native American tradition of Lakota, their motto is all my relations. Your relation with everything, your relationship with your shoes, the relationship with your parents, the relationship with your reflection in your mirror. Everything is about your relationships. Saturn and Neptune are in the opposite sign of Libra, in the sign of Aries, where Aries is about aggression, it's about assertion. And Libra is like, well, let me just pause and think that through before I act. So there's an emphasis on acting right now. So we all have to remember to make balanced decisions, and that comes with balancing out the heart and the mind, which I talked about before. This Venus retrograde, your ruling planet Venus is going to go do that retrograde spin in October in Scorpio, and then into Libra, October 25th. Again, a great time to do that mirror work. We're going to have grand air energy. All air signs are going to be activated around September, the end of September. That's a great time to make sure, get in your meditation and see what insights come up for you at the end of September. Bless you, bless you. Because that is a time of insight, intuition, grand ideas that are going to be able to come forth for you. Pluto, Uranus, and the Sun are going to be in this dialogue with each other. Harmony and beauty is what can be balanced to all the warlike energy that we're feeling right now. So if you think about Libra, and Libra's an air sign, but it's ruled by Venus, so it loves to have those sweet nothings whispered in their ear. So, it's kind of fun. It's not fun, but when you have those great movies that were made that take place during wartime, like that is what can happen right now with the Libra energy. We can see everything in the chaos in the world, but at the same time, there tends to be love stories behind the scenes of all that. So just pay attention, and if it's not with anybody, just allow it to be with yourself and who you are becoming at this point. And Venus is going to have that extended stay in Scorpio and Libra toward the end of the year, and all of us can contribute something to the young women in our society, and being able to encourage them of what we've gone through in our lives and being mentors to somebody who is younger, who is coming of age. So you may have an opportunity toward the end of the year where you're going to be asked for guidance from our younger generation. Scorpios? One Scorpio? Your motto is I desire. So your ruling planet prior to 1930, when Pluto was discovered, was Mars. And Mars you share with the sign of Aries. And Aries is the warrior-like energy. Scorpio is a water sign, and it's more like the general. So it's like Libra has that checkerboard or that chessboard of making moves. I'm going to make a move, and then you're going to make a move. And then you follow it, and you're able to walk into a room, and you're like, you're cool, you're not cool, you're cool, you're not cool, because you can see right through people. So when you take a look at that chessboard, you know what a person's going to do before they do it, and that's being a general. And sometimes we'll say Scorpios like to have control, but it's they could spot weakness in another person, and they know what that other person needs, and they could tell them what to do in a certain sense. Scorpio is the most resourceful sign of the Zodiac. It deals over mediumship coming online and being able to sense when a spirit is around. Have you ever walked into a room and felt a cold energy around you? Like you get that's kind of that Scorpio. We're all going through a Scorpio phase because we're all transforming. It's about life and death. In our human bodies, we're at the Scorpio area, and that's the reproductive organs. As women, we all come in with trauma, a sexual trauma. We all come in with it. So it needs to be healed. We had the chance to do that last year during the snake year, for sure, to heal that. So as we're here in Zero Doubt, and we're learning how to build muscle, and if you think about that energy of like a snake, you got to be able to move it. So it's like building that muscle, and then how does that snake move? It moves in being. It's so funny that this song's on right now. I have a big affinity to Fleetwood Mac, so healing our traumas. October energy is a lot about Mary Magdalene energy. We have Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, which is your modern ruler. And Pluto in Aquarius is bringing things up to the surface. And now you have to alchemize that energy and transform it. Sometimes Scorpio likes to keep things hidden. But Pluto in Aquarius is all bringing it up and out. And it's rabbit holes that you can go down and through, and you can't deal with the superficiality anymore. You have to deal with the truth of things, and some of that truth is icky, and you're here because you want to know the truth, where you may have people in your life that don't want to know, and you got to do your own. You got to do what you feel called to do, and not everybody is walking this path further with you anymore. You're having to drop people, right? I'm sure all of us have had to do that. So, as advice for Scorpio is to watch when, at that fall time period, when Venus is in Scorpio moving retrograde, to look at how you can heal some of that trauma. Get out and find ways to dance and to move your body, and also follow the torch that your fellow Mars ruled sign Aries is carrying. And that comes, we were talking about that snake energy, and there is whispers that are coming out that there's this 13th sign of the Zodiac. Astrologers have been saying this for a long time. Certain astrologers will say no, but what's the 13th sign is Ophiuchus. It's considered true sky astrology. Astrology is evolving. Whether or not there's a 13th sign or not, I don't know. We may find out. We're being revealed a lot of different truths, but the 13th sign of the Zodiac is the snake carrier, and its motto would be, I heal. So pay attention to that. The 13th sign of the Zodiac, maybe the 13th apostle, and you can find that by looking through True Sky Astrology. It does change the entire zodiac around, so more of that may be coming online. So from where we have our closest desires and our closest intimacy through the sign of Scorpio, we then find our light in the way through the sign of Sagittarius. Any Sagittarians here? Archers? So Sagittarius is about the ability to see. And there's a huge opportunity on the May 31st full moon that happens around 4 or 5 a.m., where I feel like I got baptism by fire at that time. There's a moon Jupiter, what's called a mutual reception. So the moon is going to be in Jupiter's sign, and Jupiter is going to be in the moon sign. The moon in Sagittarius at that full moon is going to answer to Jupiter in Cancer, which is the moon sign. So that is definitely a time to become a witness, to lean into zero doubt, and have faith. The moon in Sagittarius Sagittarius in general is the optimist, is the cup is half full, is the cheerleader for a cause, is the life coach, is the one that shoots its arrow as a goal and goes off and grabs it. And sometimes before it can get to that goal, it finds another goal it wants to do. It's ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is bigger and greater and wants to do everything better. Jupiter is going to move into the sign of Leo, a fellow fire sign, around June 30th. So Sagittarius, you're kind of very lucky right now because you're going to have great grand fire energy. We all are. And grand fire is a powerful surge to walk in that faith without doubt and move forward for your passion, because it's going to connect in with these planets in Aries, and it's going to connect in with Jupiter and Leo, and the missing point in that is the Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius, on December 9th, there's going to be a new moon in your sign. This is where you are able to create a vision for yourself. So in December, a new moon in your sign is a time period to do that vision board, set your goals for the upcoming year. Sagittarius rules the hips, it rules the thighs, it rules the liver. How lucky are we that our liver can regenerate itself? That's the part about Sagittarius being lucky. Any Capricorns in the room? One Capricorn? Okay, Capricorn, your motto is I use. Again, it deals with our structures in our world. Where Sagittarius creates the vision, Capricorn comes in and builds with it. It rules over your skeletal system in your body, and the things that decay take a long time to decay. So your hair, teeth, nails, and your bones. Your skin, too, is ruled by Capricorn. And Capricorn, you are the first, when I wrote out these note cards, you're the first sign that I wrote. I started with Capricorn. I'm not sure why, but this is the first thing that I wrote. Capricorns are going through their spiritual awakening, and for you to, if you're doing any kinds of readings or anything for people, you may want to start by reading for people who are older than you or younger than you and not necessarily your same age. There might be a little bit of competition there. So know that you might be going through these symptoms of not feeling like you fit in anymore. You need to retract. You don't feel like the same groups and resonate. You're not aligned. Pluto has been going through your sign since 2008. It's now in Aquarius, so that was a big overhaul of your life since 2008. You may feel like your family lineage stands on your back. Your ruling planet is now in the sign of Aries. That's Saturn, and it's in its fall. Saturn doesn't like to be in the sign of Aries, but it gives you an opportunity to start building something new, all brand new. Again, with the minerals of the body and making sure that your body has enough minerals. It's strategic financial planning can happen right now, and getting in touch with time. How time is used, people not wasting your time, realizing that time is the most valuable commodity we have here, but yet time does not exist. That's the paradox of all of it. It's sort of strange. At the end of June, Mercury is going to move into Cancer. So there's a full moon in Capricorn at the end of June. And so things that you started in December of 2025 can come to fruition in June, at the end of June. So pay attention to what happens then. And Aquarians. Us too. I'm Aquarius. So Aquarius's motto is I know I'm standing up here preaching today. I'm just sharing with you what it is that I've collected. And that's what Aquarius is. It's the water bearer, which people think we're a water sign, but we're an air sign. And that's where the conundrum comes. That's why I named my business Paradox, because we are kind of paradoxical. You think we're one way and it really turns out we're another way. We did have our eclipse in Aquarius on February 17th, so we're all under this Aquarian energy. We all have Aquarius somewhere in our chart, and that's where we need to give back. That's where we need to find a sense of community. Pluto is going to be in our sign till 2044. It hasn't been in Aquarius since the 1700s. And it's like taking the little planet of Pluto, which is way far out toward the end of our solar system, and putting it in, dropping it in the jug that a water bearer is carrying. And all that information is coming up and out. And that's what we're seeing right now. All of it's coming up and out. And that is telepathy. It's extraterrestrial life. It's building a network. It's feeling validated for thinking ahead of the game. Being here, listening to astrology when other people around you may think it's silly. That's the Aquarian energy. Your secondary heart is in your calves. So where Leo, the opposite sign of Aquarius, pumps the blood goes all the way down to the lower extremities, and it's got to pump its way back up. So all of us with Pluto and Aquarius, at the end of the night, get your legs above your hearts. And Pluto and Aquarius rules over mitochondria. So do what you can to build the mitochondria in your body right now. Aquarian energy can be seeing signs and symbols. You get into your car and you turn on the radio and like the lyric was somebody just talking to you. Or somebody's talking about something over here. A week later, somebody's talking about the same thing over here. A normal person can't understand that connection between the two things. But as an Aquarian, you get that connection. You see the signs and the synchronicities. You see the numbers and patterns. That's what the Aquarian energy is giving you and gifting you right now with this big eclipse, this new moon eclipse in the sign of Aquarius. It's finding your network. And the last sign of our zodiac is Pisces. Happy birthday, Pisces. Any Pisces here? 2 Pisces. So your motto is, I believe. So we wrap up on the 0 doubt. Pisces is a fog-like energy. You have to use your gut and your intuition to follow through. It's a very empathic. It feels everything. It's what's going on behind the scenes that you can't see. So we're having a full moon in Virgo, which wants total clarity, but the sun is in Pisces. So there may be things coming up. When an eclipse happens, its energy lasts for a year or 6 months. And so for the next 6 months, as this energy comes in, some of your thoughts and what you thought was going on may be completely disrupted by truth of things that are really happening in your life. It's like wake-up calls. So in that year, last year, when we were in the year of the snake and in the 9 year, and we had Saturn and Neptune at the very end of the entire zodiac, that's where we had to let go. That's where we had to sacrifice something. All of us may have had to drop some baggage last year, and it may have been tough, but it wasn't for us. At least not that version of what was going on. Maybe it will come back and it will be renewed, but whatever was happening that you had to let go of was meant to go, and we'll see if it's meant to be, it comes back. But you had to let go for a just cause, not just cause. Just for a just cause, not just cause. Because sometimes Pisces will sacrifice themselves, right? You'll allow yourself to kind of be stepped on or walked on. I'm sorry to say, but Pisces are so compassionate, but our world is so chaotic that you just want to be and give. And like, oh, there's a poor puppy that's trapped outside. Let me bring it in, which is a very beautiful thing. But tomorrow, Mars, the planet of war and of aggression and assertion, is going to move into the sign of Pisces, and that's when we're all getting our spiritual gangster. It is the holy war. It's molding into yourself into something new. You know how they have like fake it till you make it? That can be a Pisces thing, but this Saturn and Neptune in Aries is like, oh no, you have to show up in your authentic self. So that's what we are all having to do. Now, the interesting thing about Pisces is the sign of the fish, and it rules over the feet, and that's what connects us to the ground. So you have to stay grounded. We all have these rubber on our feet, and that creates a barrier between what the earth, Mother Earth, is as a healing and our connection to our bodies. So get your feet into the ground as much as you can to ground in. Pisces is the fish that lives underwater, and it has gills so it can breathe underwater. So meditation and doing breath work is so important for all of us. And in that energy, Pisces can escape. It escapes into meditation or your connection to the divine, or it can escape into our addictions. Somewhere we all have some sort of addiction, whether it be major or minor, we all have something. And so this full moon eclipse that we're having is a great time to let go. You can write your forgiveness letter. Whatever you need to forgive about yourself or others, a habit that you need to let go of, I don't like my job, or I don't like this relationship, you can write a letter to God, the universe, your angels, whomever, and ask for it to be let go. I've given up addiction under eclipse energy. It's a great time to give it up. And ask for it to be let go. Take it under that full moon energy, and you can take it and you can burn it. The full moon is in Virgo, which is the earth. Maybe you just need to bury it in the ground. Drop it in the water, whatever it is that you need to do, because you just made a declaration that you're ready to forgive and let go. And then go inside, take a shower, imagine all this gunk coming off of you, going down the drain, and all you're left with is a brighter aura. You could do that on every full moon, but when you get an eclipse, and it's a total eclipse, there is a revolving door somewhere in your life where things are being eclipsed out of your life and things are coming in. So allow things that need to go, go. And if you don't know where to start with your own physical body. Come here to Zero Doubt and start your movement of your own physical self. Any questions on Pisces? Any questions in general about astrology? Well, thank you for allowing me to lead you along the way of the Zodiac. You can be your own magician in your own life. You could be the light. Each of us on earth must contribute in some small way to the unity of humanity. And through shining your light through your own sun sign is a way that you can make that contribution to yourself and to the world around you. So thank you. Thank you, Justine. Thank you, Jeremy. I hope you all have a blessed and beautiful rest of your Sunday. And be well. Thank you.